with that being said, in terms of Elliott, the people that he drafted, first round he went Broderick Jones at 17 overall. Then at 32 in the second round, Tariq Stevenson, the corner out of Miami. Then from there at 49 overall, Siaki Ika. At 80, DeMarvion Overshown. Definitely like him. At safety, at 120, safety, Ronnie Hickman out of the Ohio State University. At 234, my dark horse quarterback, the multiple national champion, Mr. Set the Combine on Fire, Stetson Bennett. And then last but certainly not least at 241, Hail to Pitt, Brandon Hill, safety. Well, first off, man, I like the diversity. He got me some positions I need. Got me a tackle. Get a little competition with my man Dan. Nice little corner action. I wonder how the board was falling, though, in terms of it being Tariq versus some of the other guys at corner at 32. But I definitely like the move. Siaki, I know I'm a fan of him. Minimize the snaps. I'm going to keep saying it over and over. That's for you, Big Noriega. All right? That's for you. But Siaki Ika, definitely like that move, man. DeMarvion Overshown at 80 overall. Really good value, man. Athlete. That's what we need. Ronnie Hickman, get you a safety in there. Now, see, this is what I mean, though, right? You pick up a Ronnie Hillman in the fourth. Trey Norwood. That hurts him a lot. Hurts him a lot, man. But definitely like the Stetson, man. Backup quarterback action, we need that. And if Mitch is still on the roster, we got our third quarterback, grooming him. And then Brandon Hill, man, another good player. We're very familiar with him. Physical. Is going to definitely give some special teams value as well, man. I like this one. I ain't tripping. Shout out to Elliott, man.
Yeah, this was...
I like this one, low-key.
The timing's rough with this Keanu Neal signing. With him taking two safeties.
It is. Even though they're late, though. But it definitely is.
Yeah, the round 4 one, there's just no way. Well, if you're doing round 4, you're not taking another one, round 7, I would assume. Unless you're trying to have either of those guys potentially do some slot work early on. I wouldn't see the value in it. But the other picks, positionally, I think make a lot of sense. Stevenson might have been a little bit of a reach. Feel kind of cursed and kind of scarred about Miami corners, but a lot of people.
Chill out, man.
He looks good. Like, he looks pretty fluid out there for a cornerback.
Obviously
not afraid to hit.
We had, man. Dang.
A lot of people have him going like in late second round though. Yeah. So at 32 might be a little bit of a stretch. Maybe he's really high on him though. Yeah. I like Jones in round 1. Ika, that nose tackle guy for us. I like that. DeMarvion Overshown. Yeah. Bring him in the room. I think that makes sense. Yeah. Third quarterback, Stetson Bennett. Yeah, this one ain't bad. Maybe I just flip out the cornerback that we take in round 2. And then with the new information, just take one of those safeties.
Yeah.
I would prefer get Hickman out of there and take a receiver round 4, like a Hyatt or something. Tank Dell.
Ooh.
Keep Brandon Hill round. I don't think Brandon Hill's going to be there round 7 though.
And I actually agree with you on that, especially in light of the Keanu Neal. Because this, obviously, when we got this information in, when it was pre-uploaded, there was no Keanu Neal on said roster. So this was a lot more appealing. But I probably would be the only thing that I would probably flip as well, man. If I still went Hickman in the 4th, though, Norwood is definitely gone. And I'm just saying I want to upgrade that room even more so. Because now, if my worst player in that room is a 4th rounder in this year's draft, I feel great about starters and depth in terms of that room. It would be almost the equivalent of how we feel about our guard position right now. Like when we talk Seyu Malu, James Daniels, Herbig, still got Dotson, Mason Cole could bump out there. It's like we got a ton of pieces that we're confident in. That's kind of how I look at the Hickman part of it, man. But like I said, this was obviously before we had that breaking news that took place. But yeah, I do like this one though, man.
It's not bad.
I do like this one. Now, people do give me they question the whole Artie Burns vibe with Tariq.
It's just Miami. It's not.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's just Miami.
I feel like, but you're not the only person. The chat is the only person. y'all, man, I'm gonna just be real. Y'all know we was doing a draft show the other day. Even up there, it was just like, yo, like, questions. Is that Artie-ish? And we're like, nah, bro. Like,
there's no correlation.
Like, what we talking about? Is it just because he played at the U, man? Is that the only correlation? Just the U part, right? I feel like that's it. I could be missing something though. That's why I was asking. But yeah. Okay.
Also, early round prospects in the draft. That's the other correlation. And they play cornerback.
Oh, our history, huh? Yeah.
Oh, you're bringing that up too, that we just don't draft the position well.
I thought that, yeah. What was you going with?
No, I'm just saying they play the same position. They're both
early rounds.
Yeah, first,
Miami,
second round prospects,
corner,
and they both went to Miami.
Yeah. All right, I get it then.
Yeah, you're right. He's got decent size too, and that's something that Burns had as well coming in.
All right, it was like, oh, big track speed, man, big speed guy.
What do we got for the next one?
All right, next up on the list comes from Isaiah Aguilar. Shout out to Isaiah as well. So for Isaiah, first round, he went with JPJ, Joey Porter Jr. at 17. At 32, the mammoth of a tackle, DeJuan Jones. Give me the big athlete. At 49, Drew Sanders, LB out of Arkansas. At 80, Jordan Battle, safety from Bama. Roll Tide. At 120, Cam Jones, little linebacker action from Indiana. Like this pick at 234, Brenton Strange. Give me the athlete tight end. And then at 241, Elijah Higgins, the receiver out of Stanford. You want to go first on this one?
Yeah. I like this one. Even in light of the new information with Keanu Neal.
Yes, sir.
I think what you do, though, with the Neal signing is you either don't draft Sanders or Battle, and maybe you take that receiver earlier.
Okay.
Because I feel like it could be a little bit of an overkill. But if you're looking long-term and saying Drew Sanders and Battle, maybe
that's your answer.
Our potential franchise linebacker and safety for the next 5 or 6 years, I wouldn't hate it. I like both those players.
Could you essentially get 3 of your main defenders going forward in this draft with JPJ, Drew Sanders, and Jordan Battle?
It just looks like a good draft. Now, I don't know why people keep drafting DeJuan Jones.
Yeah, the whole right. And I don't want to take a dude that early to move him. Not in year 1, at least.
Unless we're just putting him at left tackle, and we believe he's going to be our franchise left tackle. I don't know if he's starting, especially if you're moving him. He's not starting year 1. You're just going to have him sit. It's going to be more of a projection.
Yeah.
Cam Jones, I was watching him. I like him. He's one of those athletic linebackers who can cover. Brent Strange, like that competition in the tight end room. Bring him in. Make the seat a little uncomfortable for Gentry, I guess.
Well, the thing is, Brenton gives you receiving ability that's going to challenge Gentry. But Gentry's blocking is what's going to challenge Strange.
Yeah.
And then it's going to come down
Strange
to
got more athleticism.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, which way are we trying to go with that thing? But that would be very, very enticing, man, when you're talking late in the draft like that.
Yeah, 7th round pick. That's fine. Good value there. And you get your receiver late. Like I said, with the new information, maybe go receiver earlier, because this is obviously saying we're rolling with an Anthony Miller or Calvin Austin.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It wouldn't, because you're just loading up on the defense.
Yeah, this is like, for me, my reaction to this, I'm like, I love it from a defensive perspective. I get me a corner that I feel like I'm good for the next 5 to 10 off of, man. Like, I got that answered. DeJuan Jones, that's the interesting part. If you're a part of the group that feels like Chooks could potentially be moved, or is he cap casualty type conversation, or if you think that a DeJuan Jones right now,
that's the way it would make sense if we cut Chooks. Actually,
that's what I'm saying.
I could see that.
Are you cutting him or trading him? I haven't really looked into that. But if that is something that the team could be considering from a contract standpoint, because I haven't looked at Chooks this year contract and outs and stuff like that.
It doesn't feel like a Steeler move, though.
I would agree. And that's my only hiccup with the DeJuan Jones pick. Because Drew Sanders, I love that move regardless of Keanu Neal being here and Cole and Landon, because Drew is a linebacker, but he's also versatile enough to play multiple spots in there and do a lot of the things that we want to get done, but without having to stretch ourselves thin and having a ton more like packages, right? We talked about that. 3 safety package, dime package, big nickel, regular nickel. Okay, this is the penny package. Like, it just gets real crowded in terms of that element of it. But Drew Sanders alleviates some of that because of his versatility. Jordan Battle, we said, man, we think in terms of his fit, he probably fit what we want on the back end the best of these safeties in this group. As much as we think Brian Branch is the better athlete, the sexier player, it's the same conversation of Aminka and Edmonds. One is designed to get turnovers and do the flashy stuff. The other guy's designed to be the muscle, to go out there and get them tackles, do all the little grunt work that doesn't get talked about, occasionally make a splash play. So we still feel good about both of those. Cam Jones, later in this pick, when you're complimenting that or doing both Drew Sanders and Cam, I don't hate it because I already have my real guy. But Cam just is telling me that Mark Robinson, all right, we were excited about what you did last year at the end of the year. But hey, this is the NFL. Fans aren't going to keep you on this team. Media hype is going to keep you on this team. What keeps you in this league is beating out competition each and every year. And you're no exception to that rule.
Actually, that's where I would take the receiver, because we already have Sanders, and if we already have a Mark Robinson, we got in a Landon Roberts. We just brought in a Keanu Neal, who could do the linebacker and safety, and we have a Cole Holcomb. I think you just go receiver there. I think it might be a little bit too much to get Cam. Yeah, just get a Hyatt or a Tank Dell. It's that round 4 pick. Like I think that's that round 4 specialty. I think
the receiver element, yes, but if Tank is gone, if the receivers that we kind of are interested in is gone or are gone, I don't see why.
You can make a case for any pick like right any there, I think.
Because I even think like when we did Buddy Johnson was the 4th rounder, and then the following year, who do we bring up? I felt like it was like the
maybe you go corner there. Maybe you go like a little depth corner.
You got options though. You definitely got options.
Build them up with JPJ.
I really like the Brenton Strange though element, just in the sense of the competition in that room and bringing in something that is a little bit different. We don't have the big athlete like a Brenton Strange. That's technically the mismatch stuff that you're trying to get Gentry to develop into. But it would just be cool to see them push each other, man. And get a reunion too, right? Because wasn't that Pat's old teammate?
Yeah.
Yeah, get a little reunion. I like it though. I do like that one. I like it. All right. Ready for this final one then, man?
Yeah.
All right, the last one comes from Matthew Neiman. Shout out to Matthew. We definitely appreciate you, baby. All righty. But for Matthew's mock, 17 overall, he went with Joey Porter Jr. Anton Harrison, the big tackle, left tackle out of Oklahoma. Sooner. Sooner. All right, then after that at 49, Jack Campbell. Captain Jack will always get you high tonight. Remember that. Then at 80 overall, Nathaniel Tank Dale, the receiver that has just stolen our hearts, man. We like this dude. He's our 3rd, 4th round receiver. That's our guy now, man. He is this year's mid-round EJ Perry for us, man. Okay? That's how it goes. Then at 120 overall, Carl Brooks. Like this dude, man. D lineman. Muscle cat out of Bowling Green. Good player, though. Then you got Jake Andrews, man, the center out of Troy at 236. And then at 243, Trey Dean III out of Florida. I actually like this one. I think I like it a lot. JPJ early on, I dig that. Anton Harrison, we talked about him in terms of the big tackles and stuff like that. He's one of those guys that gets flirted with at 4th or 5th best. Sometimes I've seen people bump him up ahead of Broderick and stuff like that. So that's always a little intriguing with him because he is athletic, good size. Jack Campbell, love his tape, man. Physical, smart, tested a lot better than what we thought based on, in terms of his straight line speed and stuff like that. But really productive player, man. He looks like a Steeler. You cut his tape on, he looks like a Steeler. Outfit too. Tank Dell, man, you talk about a dude that could bring low risk, high reward in terms of getting him in the 3rd what he could bring to this offense, that would be really intriguing. But I just wonder, what does that signal to a Calvin Austin? If we get in him, that's a lot of similarity. But I definitely like that move. I like that move a lot. Carl Brooks, another good player like we talked about, man. I like his physicality. I like his get off as well, man. The big question with him is just, you're playing in the MAC. What does it look like, man, when we talk about the consistency of every play, bigger, better competition and stuff like that? Jake Andrews, similar convo. Trey Dean is interesting, man. Trey Dean, it's crazy, too, to think that last year when he was coming out, they had him mocked in the 7th. He decided to go back to school, played, and then, he's still kind of in the same place with this thing. But he's another one of them dudes, man. Good player. At this stage of the draft, though, I mean, you know how Deke tell you, man. Yeah, you're hoping that you catch lightning in a bottle with one of these dudes, man. But in terms of just addressing the needs, I think that this one definitely did that. I don't know. I like it 80 and in. I feel like once I get to 120 and out, I wasn't as big a fan of this one personally.
Yeah, Carl Brooks, entertaining to watch him.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have the best of control or like side to side.
No.
He's a big guy out there. I don't know if he should be more of an interior guy even. Like, he's big.
He's a 3-tech. He's a 3-tech in a 4-3 defense. I look at him as a 3 technique.
But they had him doing edge stuff. Yeah, interesting guy.
I'm with you. Like, he doesn't have the side to side. He's not a space player. But the question also is,
he's like overrunning the quarterback and stuff.
Yeah. But the other question is that size going to be able to hold up in an interior D line? I don't think he could play in a 3-4 per se, but in a 4-3, if he's your 3-tech and he's getting up the field, getting off the ball, I think you can make that work. But that's the only, like I said, that's why I didn't like it past the Tank Dell spot.
I think I like the second one better than this. I think I like the second one best overall.
Low key, that's how I was feeling too.
You're right. It hits the needs. I
like this.
I prefer Drew Sanders over Jack Campbell. If you're giving me the same pick, they're both going at 49. Yeah. I'll take Drew Sanders. Harrison versus DeJuan Jones. Now Harrison fits the left tackle need better. But what if the Steelers really like DeJuan Jones? And this is what I was just considering. Do we give whatever offensive lineman we take early on in this draft? Do we give that the benefit of the doubt? Even though if it doesn't make logistical sense, if we take a Darnell Wright or DeJuan Jones,
okay,
because we got Waddle on the staff, do we give him a year and just say, okay, let's see what you do?
What I'm trying to figure out, like, with the player that we're drafting, first or second round, are you saying from the offensive lineman perspective, just offensive lineman, that if they didn't take a snap in the regular season and they sat the whole year, we're saying that we give a pass to?
No, I'm saying initial reaction.
Oh,
going into the season.
Yeah, initial reaction, I'm gonna give it a pass, because initial reaction, I'm gonna think that they see something, and if it is a right, like
I'm just thinking more because we got Waddle on the staff.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that part in terms of the That's why I was asking, because I didn't know if you meant like the season's over, we drafted this guy at 32 or at 17, he doesn't play at all. I'm like, you want me to give him a pass?
Unless the offensive line's really good in spite of that.
Yeah, but I'm
and we don't have another glaring need that we could have been like, oh, dude, we needed a corner there. Why didn't we draft a corner?
That would hurt me, even if the O-line is good, and this 17, 32, 49, or 80 is just sitting there, and I'm looking and I'm like, bro, we could use a corner. Right. We could use a third rusher. Man, I wish we would have got a safety here. Like, that's my only issue. But yeah, I would definitely give him benefit of the doubt early on, though, because either way, think about it like this, right? DeJuan Jones, a right tackle. We both feel like he's a right tackle. Everything says he's a right tackle. Could he play left? We can make a case for it, but everything says right tackle. I still don't think it's an issue if you bring him in as your on paper right tackle backup, because right now, what is your depth at either tackle spot? LaRaven, Clark. DeJuan Jones at right or left is going to be better than LaRaven Clark. So maybe you're taking it now. Choose go down. You got something you feel good about. If Dan go down, you're going to be in the same situation anyway. So, hey, I'd rather put out my, high pedigree offensive lineman to go over there.
Yeah.
Whereas, like we said with LaRaven, we know he's more of a journeyman throughout his career, and based on when he came or where he came into the league at. I just think that could also be at play, even though we don't think of the tackle depth to that extent. Think about this message that they sent us with the guard depth this year. They didn't cut corners. They didn't just stick with Kendrick Green and say we're going to roll with a J.C. Hassenauer type body in there, a Joe Davis type body in there. They went on and spent some money. They went and got some real quality pieces that are going to be able to come out here, and we're going to physically and visually like feel it and see the upgrade. I could just see them thinking, let's keep that approach, because right now we're one rolled ankle away from hurting at the tackle position.
Yeah, and Tomlin put words to it by saying pretty much just that. Yeah. He felt like we got lucky last year because basically our whole offensive line stayed healthy the whole way.
That is crazy rare, bro, at one of the most physical positions on the field. Yeah, so that's one of the ones where I'm like, I could still, if they went Dewan, I could still understand it. Even though he is a right, I could definitely understand it.
Like if he's number one on our board.
Right, yeah.
We just view him as the number one prospect. We could see some signs in him that we can move him over to left long term. But you're right. Maybe he is just the backup right away for both sides.
And a DeJuan Jones, who we know can play right, also gives you leverage next offseason when you need to see what you want to do with Chuks deal. Do you extend it? Do you release it, or you trade? Like, what are you doing with it? And we know nothing against Chuks, but that's just how it goes in terms of the business. A couple years into the deal, we looking to see, do we need to re it up? Do we need to cut it out? What we need to do to make them numbers do what they're supposed to do? DeJuan just gives you more flexibility, because now you're not feeling like if this player leaves or if this player doesn't agree to what we're trying to get accomplished from a financial standpoint, we're left with nothing over there. If a DeJuan Jones is already in-house, you still feel good.
And Jones feels like he fits everything we're trying to do right now on this O-line.
Yeah.
Chuks a little more of a finesse player. Yeah. But, I mean, Con didn't re-sign him. That was still Colbert.
I said Colbert. I was combining their names. Omar was on the staff.
He was on.
But it was Colbert. It was Colbert's decision to go ahead and make the move.
Whereas now with this Con Weidel era, we're just getting dudes that's going to run you over.
Yeah.
And DeJuan, he feels like he fits that mold.
Yeah, he definitely fits that one.
Yeah, not bad. I'd maybe rank this one 2.
Yeah, I think
the second one I would have 1 with Jordan Battle, Drew Sanders, DeJuan Jones, Joey Porter.
Yeah, Isaiah Aguilar. Yeah, like. Yeah. Which one was? Yeah, it was the. Yeah, it was the Isaiah Aguilar, because Elliott Ellison had the Broderick Jones, Tariq Stevenson, Siaki Ika in that group.
That one wasn't bad. Actually, I might have that one too.
I like this one, bro. The problem was the double safeties, but this was before the Keanu.
Maybe we can give him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, if it was one less safety up here, but like you said, this is new information. Isaiah Aguilar, I like his a lot. He double dips the linebackers, so you would have to see.
Yeah, that was my one critique.
Yeah.
Take a receiver and Cam Jones' spot, or maybe a cornerback even too.
About to say, so I get that one, and then the whole right tackle element with DeJuan, and then from there, this last one, I love the first 4 picks, bro. Like, shout out to Matthew, man.